My name is Tomiyo, and I am a care partner to my daughter Sky, who was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD, when she was 14 years old. She was living her life as a normal teenager one minute, and it seemed like everything changed overnight when she was diagnosed with a chronic illness. She's now 22 years old. One of the initial challenges we faced was her rapid decline in health. She went from a vibrant teenager to someone who endured many different tests, blood transfusions, multiple hospitalizations, and surgeries. As part of her journey, my daughter also has experienced Crohn's perianal fistulas, or CPF, that can cause an abnormal tunnel to develop between the rectum or anal canal and the skin near the anus. The recurrent complications from the fistulas meant debilitating pain, more doctor's appointments, more hospital admissions, and outpatient procedures to drain the abscess. This created additional stress because she was missing so much school and we were missing work. A lot of people didn't understand the severity of what was happening with her health and became angry if we couldn't attend certain events. Eventually, they stopped inviting us. As a teenager entering high school, this was a hard time for her socially. We had to withdraw her from school during her sophomore year, and it put her behind her peers. My daughter was suffering, and so was I. As a parent or any care partner, watching someone you love suffer can take a toll on you mentally and emotionally. In my personal experience as a care partner and through my work with the inflammatory bowel disease community, I've seen firsthand how every individual and every family can have different experiences when it comes to navigating these diseases. Everyone's situation is unique. I work with patients and families to share information and resources on chronic digestive diseases and complications like CPF while helping them realize they aren't alone. I remind people in the community of the importance of shared decision making. As a patient, you have the right to advocate for your care and even seek a second opinion. Informed discussions with your doctor can empower you to make decisions related to your health or a loved one's health. Finding information can be a challenge, not just for people of color. Some information is there, but often the patient and the caregiver are not in a mental space to go out and look for that information. A lot of times they're so overwhelmed with what's already in front of them that they just don't have the bandwidth to seek out additional resources. Early on, I was lacking the type of support I needed. Even when I joined my first support group, in some ways, I didn't feel like we could relate to the other families. We were the only people of color at some of these meetings. My experiences managing my daughter's disease, navigating medical teams, and advocating for her care made me want to be a resource for other families and parents going through similar situations. I started out as a community volunteer, and before long, I was speaking at community events for women living with IBD. When you have a child with a chronic illness, you're essentially told your child is sick and will be sick for the rest of their life. Being part of a community of people sharing a common ground can help people feel less isolated and realize they're not alone in their journey. I've noticed that some patients, especially those from underrepresented communities particularly, benefit from peer-to-peer connection with people from similar backgrounds. Sometimes due to someone's background or upbringing, people might be hesitant to talk openly about specific areas of the body. Others may have feelings of distrust toward the medical community. One of the programs I support aims to help people feel more comfortable speaking to a doctor. We help build feelings of empowerment by sharing best practices to advocate for themselves or their loved ones when speaking to a healthcare provider. I've always been a very private person, so becoming more transparent about my family's experience was a big shift for me. I've had other people over the years tell me they spoke at a support group after hearing me speak. They said seeing me share my family story helped them gather the courage to do the same. Once I started sharing my experiences and receiving positive feedback from other parents, it inspired me to become even more involved in the advocacy space. And while I share my own insights based on my family's experiences, I remind them that everyone's IBD and CPF experience is different. Ultimately, I try to keep them uplifted by letting them know there's a light at the end of the tunnel.